I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
DMWATS.
Unscripted.
Unedited.
Unapologetic.
Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? I am Davey.
I'm Misty.
Hey, you guys, welcome to another
I need to
episode.
move over.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of DMWATS podcast. Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking at us on YouTube, like we've been experimenting with different, scenery. So this is the theater one.
We switch it up.
We switch it up.
But
the
he
other
switched it back to me.
Yeah. And then like this one is like so wide. We're like, wow, okay.
I know.
Our talk show
like,
one was so small, we crammed in there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. So NFTs, crypto.com. Make sure you guys go to crypto.com, type in Misty. You can check out our NFTs. Tumultuous Tiki is on there. Crypto Cookies on there. We got a few other ones on there that we know you guys are like. DMWATSpodcast.com is where you can find us. All the streaming services. Promised last time I'm going to do it. Spotify. You can find us there. You can find us there
Once
too.
again, the offer remains 100 million.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll leave.
Don't worry about it. Doge, AMC, Shiba, and of course, Saitama. We about all of that life. And our service dog says hello, Lisa.
Hi.
Yeah, there she is. So
Hi, Lisa.
so anyway, yeah. So yesterday we had a bit of a rant, huh?
It wasn't okay, but we're gonna have to. So, I was thinking about it earlier, and yeah, we labeled it rant, but I feel like it should have been labeled like Joe Rogan Spotify, because we're gonna have a lot of those. I know that this is the way the year's gonna go. So it was just I didn't feel like pulling a fishbowl topic. Yeah. I just wanted to get off my chest. You wanted to get off of your chest what was happening, and then Joe Rogan kind of sort of apologized today. It's not even an apology. It was just like, hey guys, this is not, what I intended it to do. I didn't know it would be like that. I didn't know you guys thought of me as an influencer like that. Yeah. And I really believe, because like I said yesterday, I'm not going to take shit that the Fear Factor guy tells me to take. Yeah. I'm not doing it.
But not only that, Joe Rogan's like, hey, I've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not sitting here saying everything I say is right.
He's probably sitting there going, I still have a contract with Spotify. I mean, he's not, I don't see him as being I just say guy.
This. He's like, this is my thoughts on things. And just because you don't agree don't mean I got to stop saying it.
And again, watching the news this morning and people were like, misinformation can be so dangerous. Yeah, I understand that. But I guess I always thought of it as in terms of like teenagers and younger.
Yeah.
The fact that adults are not doing their own research, that's
disturbing. That's disturbing.
That kind of scares
you guys
me.
Should be the one teaching the young people how to do their research.
Do your own research.
Do your own research. So that's our take on the Spotify thing. But
however, I will say Mouse is like the number one book.
Yeah, Mouse is the number one book. For those who don't know what we're talking about with Mouse.
I'm sure we're saying it wrong.
Yeah, Mouse. I don't know. It's MAUSE, right?
It's about mice and the Holocaust, but it's not mice. Obviously, it's people.
So this book was banned. Where was it banned? I can't remember what state. Tennessee. It was banned in Tennessee. The book was because it tells the story of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And they decided to ban it from the libraries, from the schools altogether.
Now it's like number one.
And in true fashion, whenever cancel culture tries to take over telling of history, we bounce back in 10 times. And what happened is Mouse, MAUSE, I believe is
MAUS.
MAUS is how it's spelled. Mouse is now the number one bestseller on Amazon. So just keep that in mind. You can't block history. And I think one of the biggest things, most powerful pictures that I saw about cancel culture or critical race theory, whatever the hell you want to call it, right about now, is that I saw a picture of a lot of the great African-American heroes. So heroes who had Martin Luther King, had Harriet Tubman up there, a few others. And it had somebody with a white paintbrush painting white over it. And it was like, this is what they're talking about. Like, you can't just erase.
You can't just erase the Holocaust.
You can't erase the Holocaust. You can't erase slavery. You can't erase.
You can't erase Japanese internment camps.
Yeah,
they happened on American soil.
They all happened.
I grew up where they were.
Yeah, just because you don't want to admit that it happened, don't mean it didn't happen. Yeah, we've changed. Okay. But part of change is like admitting to what happened in the past.
And knowing where we come from.
Yeah, knowing
why we shouldn't do this.
Knowing to understand why it's important for you not to treat people the way that you treat them now. You have to understand, how things were previously. And then you'd understand why it's so important.
But I can't believe we even have to say that.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's crazy, right?
We all know what place history takes in our lives. True. And I can't believe that people.
Here's the deal. Slavery happened. Internment camps happened. Holocaust happened. There was a lot of other things that the United States stood for that was great. But as with every single country out there, we're not perfect. You know, we had to build, we had to come up from our, you know, bad beliefs and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And part of that is admitting to that fact, like, all right, this is what made us what we are today.
And admitting that they weren't pilgrims, they were Puritans.
Yeah. Boom. Come on with it, girl. All right, there it is. Go. So the wife has pulled a fishbowl topic.
I did.
And let's see what she got.
Fluffing up for it.
Yeah, there you go. What you got, baby?
Empty nest syndrome.
Woo! Empty nest syndrome.
Here's the thing. There is no cure, and I'm fine with that.
We are fine with that.
I like it.
Yeah. So empty, that's a good one. So empty nest syndrome. Let's go ahead.
Who would want a cure?
And this is probably, I'm going to say this because my wife does the TikTok videos, right? She's the ones that puts the videos out. So I'm saying this for the edit. Yep. There's no such thing as being upset about empty nest syndrome. Yeah, that's for the edit. However, we do understand, like, so
no, so
we said that's our take on it.
But
so
that's not saying that we don't get sentimental, that we don't reminisce, that we don't miss. Because at least for me, I had mine at 22. You had yours starting at 18, 19. So our entire existence. So I literally now have had a kid more than half of my life.
Yeah.
And that I miss him being like here.
Yeah.
Just like I know you do too. I miss that because that's what my entire adult life has been. However, he did a bunch of memes today while he was at school.
Yeah. We were watching.
And I was like, and they were funny because I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, that was true. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, somebody came out of the room. Oh, I just got to turn on the router. Yeah. Yeah. I remember those days too. The dark days of the 13 to like 16.
Yep. My son, when Grand Theft Auto first came out, I never saw him.
Right.
I never saw him. My youngest, when Grand Theft Auto 5 or 4, whichever one came out.
You know, it was like, oh, wow. But I'm glad that we had them young enough to where we get to experience this like second adulthood.
Right. And it is literally like reliving
of freedom.
It is literally like being re-independent. It's like so that feeling that you had when you first moved out of your parents' house. That is the emptiness is just like
and learning to
cook
and how much do I make and all that stuff. And now it's the same thing.
It's literally
it's just us. So we can just go to McDonald's for $10. Not even.
And here's the thing. Here's the other thing about emptiness.
We don't have to ask somebody if they want something.
Nope. And here's the other thing about emptiness that I have to say. So like we're so used to, remember we had to get used to not buying as much food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we were like, wait, it's just us two.
We bought the big old thing.
Yeah, the big old thing.
Cereal.
Yeah, the big old thing of cereal. And we're like, we don't need to do this anymore. It's just two of us. We can get a regular box of cereal now. You know what I'm saying? It's like the big old thing of chicken, the big old bag of chicken. We now get the small size of chicken, right?
Right, but that's the cruel joke of life, though. Because you can buy the big bag of cereal for $2.49, maybe 3 something.
Yeah.
Or you buy the box for $5.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need the big bag, but I'm saving money. So now the cruelty, the joke is, you know, we're old enough to be like, I'm not spending $2 more. I
might as well get this big bag for $5 and let it expire.
Care if it goes to waste on my
let it expire and we throw it out. Like, man, why do we buy this big old bag? We don't need it.
Because we're not spending $2 more to let something else go to waste.
Yeah, and so. But you know, the other side of that though is we both do understand. So you got, you know, parents that are older, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say an age, but I will say they're just older. You know what I'm saying? And older when their kids leave. And like their kids are their life. It's not saying our kids aren't our life, but when I say like their kids are their life, it's like, hey, this is what everything revolves around. And it's like, hey, who am I without them being in the house?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you have those people where empty nest is a true thing. Where when they kids leave, they are truly lost. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and I feel bad for that. I mean, because I'm not going to sit there and say I haven't gone through that, but it's in a different way. I had a different relationship with my son, and I have spent the last few days being really sentimental about him. Yeah. But at the same time, it's good. It's you know, he's finding his way.
Yeah, and
I need that. I need him to know that yes, he is, you know, my life, but I'm not going to die if he moves. Like,
exactly.
you know, I'm going to still be here for you. No, I don't want you to move, you know, 5,000 miles away from me. But if you do, I want you to fly.
You have to flourish and experience life. You know what I mean? Because that's what we did. You know what I mean? That's what, and that's what everybody does. It's like, look, I mean, and let's face it, every kid grows up, we all do it. I can't wait to move out here. When I get my every kid is, I can't wait to get my own place.
Like, hold on.
Yeah, you know, I can't wait to get my own place. I'm leaving. I ain't never coming back. Blah, 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 blah. We all say it.
I'm pretty sure there's a magic slide that we just don't see the minute we say that and we step foot for the last time out of our parents' home. It's just this downhill slide into the 40s. You're like, whoa, make it stop.
Now, don't get me wrong. I would say I got a little spoiled when it comes to that, because when I was like, I'm up, I went straight from one, you know, I guess being spoon-fed information to another, being spoon-fed information about life.
Sure.
You know, because the military, they do.
You were taken care of. I wouldn't call it spoon-fed. I would just call it taken care of.
You're really taken care of in the military. So like from at 18 years old, you know what I mean? They literally are teaching you about life. Yeah. Like, hey, taxes, here you go. Yeah, they got somebody to help you do them, and it's free. Typically, you know, those are things you didn't think about. It's free. And then honestly, that's another thing. When you get out of the military, it's kind of like being reborn once again.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're 18 and back out of the house again. You're like, well, shit. So, but with empty nesters, I think one of the biggest things that we had to say when it comes to empty nesters is just like, you know, if you're one of those people and your kids have moved out, you know what I'm saying? Don't become idle. You know, don't become idle. Find a hobby. Like from gardening, we've done gardening. We've redone our house.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Podcast.
We have a podcast.
We have a lot of appointments.
Yeah, we have a lot of appointments. And we remodeled our basement. We redid our childhood. We have a movie theater popcorn machine in our basement.
We have like arcade games.
Yeah, we have arcade games, Sega Genesis.
We brought the Wii back.
Yeah. So I mean, we sit here, we play for New Year's Eve, we played Rock Band. We played Rock Band on the Wii all night. Do you remember that? Yeah, all night. We played Rock Band on the Wii.
So it's a second childhood for us.
It is. I mean, make it about and now
we don't have to cook dinner if we don't want to.
Nope. We did tonight. We did tonight.
Most days, seriously, I have turned into my aunties. I walk through the door, and if it's anywhere near 3 o'clock, bra comes off, clothes go off. It is nightgowns and sweats and my beautiful silken robes or whatever overcoat I have.
Yep.
And then I'm in. And so if you're going to come to my house, you need to let me know.
Yeah. Don't just
so
pop up.
I can at least cover up in some way.
Exactly.
Because I'm lounging.
Yeah.
My life is loungewear.
And that's the thing. Like, so our family, my side of the family likes to make fun of me because I wear my robe that my wife got me.
His sister just said to me, Misty, tackle him, take the robe off. I said, you don't understand. It'll find him.
Yeah.
It'll
that
run
is like my
him.
Doctor Strange cape. I'm telling you, like that robe, like literally I just hold my hands out and it just comes on and like, yeah, we here.
They
like,
don't
cool.
understand that day that you like, I saw you and I was just watching you out the window and I'm like, he for real went out to the mailbox in his robe.
So did.
And slippers.
I was in robe and slippers.
And a do-rag on.
It was like kids were getting out of school.
It
was like
road during the high school letting out. I'm like, no, we're not that old.
I was like, what's up? Y'all stay out my grass though. That's for sure.
The other day he comes up to me and he kisses me and I'm like, where are you going? Because he's wearing the same thing. He's like, I'm just going to the garage. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go to the garage.
Yeah, but you know, hey, I mean, what can I say though? When you're comfortable, you're comfortable. Like, well, whatever. And honestly, I will say this: having a service dog will definitely make you make a few changes too. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go out like this. Like, nope, now you gotta go out on a walk. You really gonna go that far on the road? No, you're not.
Nope.
Time to change.
Nope. But no, I mean, empty nest is hard for a lot of people, and I understand why. I mean, it takes a period of adjustment, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's this. I think it's just a longing for, I don't know, that kid to be young.
Yes. And and here's the thing. Me and her have also talked about briefly. It is coming like, man, you know, it'd be great to have another.
And when we say briefly, we're talking all of 10 seconds.
Yeah, we're not even. Yeah, it's not even joke. It'd be great to have another one. Like our kid.
Would you like to have a kid?
Our kid would be badass, wouldn't it?
It
would.
Right?
It would be like
we teach him all this stuff, and then we do this.
Yeah, just kidding.
Nah, I'm good.
Just kidding.
Thanks for the offer, though.
Yeah. And so now, you know, we've gotten Hobbies. My wife is an amazing artist. You guys may have noticed I put that out all the time about how all her pictures that she makes. She's an illustrator.
I'm an illustrator.
Yes.
I don't have time to raise a child right now.
Yes. And then my wife got me into stocks.
Yeah.
And I really found that I really like it.
I even said to him that like this morning, or was it yesterday? Hey, are you gonna go like do research on the stocks or something?
Yeah. And then
because I'm doing research on the next book. Yes, I just signed another contract. Thank you very much. I just had to throw that out there.
Yes, she did.
And until I get the I'm not gonna talk about it.
I thought we was going to talk about it.
No,
I'm
not gonna talk about it until I
say,
get the contract.
Well, I think
contract's on its way.
And people on my Facebook got a hint of what it is. So I think they know what it is. You know.
But I mean, I'm excited, but it's one of those. No, I don't. And one of our sons is getting ready to graduate from welding school, and that's making me sentimental. Plus, I always get dreadfully, horribly bitchy around his birthday, and his birthday's in March, so I got a head start. Yeah. But he's gonna be 24, and I'm like, oh my god.
Well, I mean, our oldest is 25.
He's the boy that lived.
Yep.
He lived.
And so, well,
I kept something alive.
What else have we done? No. Now we look, when we talk about finding hobbies, one of ours, like, we go back and forth about what movies we have and haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I have always wanted to see all the Harry Potter movies. I think I've only saw.
And I'm a Potterhead.
And she is definitely
a massive Potterhead.
When I told her that, like, I'd like to watch Harry Potter straight through. What? Are you serious? I'm like,
so we've been doing that for 2 days.
So we have been chilling, watching all the Harry Potters.
We are now up to speed. Well, he is up to speed on Order of the Phoenix.
Right. So we just finished Order of the Phoenix. Before we came down to record, we watched Order of the Phoenix. And what's next? The Half-Blood Prince.
Half-Blood Prince, which is one of my all-time favorites.
And
that's
so
my favorite.
We're gonna do the Potters, and then we're gonna do Star Wars.
Yeah,
because I have never watched
this is so
the Star Wars. Yeah, so I'm
this
like,
is all the stuff I know.
I mean, because how many of you, like, especially with kids, have always wanted, man, I need to sit down and watch this show, or man, I always want to see this straight through, but I got kids, I've never had time to myself. So empty nesters, when you become an empty nesters, I will say, yeah, initially it's gonna sting.
Oh, it does.
It's gonna sting,
and even not even initially, at certain times when you least expect it,
it will sting. Because especially if you help move your son or daughter out, you help move them out, and then like when it's official, like whether it's college, to wherever they're gonna stay or whatever, if that place is miles away, it hits different.
Well, and I don't know if it's the same for dads. I mean, at least for mom, like from my perspective, it's this constant. Not constant, but pretty constant. Did I do enough? Did I teach him enough? Did I say enough? Did I tell him I loved him enough? Did I hold him enough? I said that the other day. I was like, but did I hold him enough? Did I like snuggle with him enough? Because there's times he's always going to be my baby boy. And I just, he was here yesterday and I just want to hang on to him. But that would make it awkward. And I feel like he'd push me.
Yeah, like kids do, right? Mom, get off me.
I try not to make it awkward and sentimental, but the kid knows I'm sentimental about him. I hope. Jesus, I hope.
Yeah. But we have to say this.
But I'm rough with him because I need him to be in this new world. I need him to be able to make it. So it's hard because I just want to squish him.
Yep. But we have to say this though. And when I've said it like twice already, but we have to keep saying it. Regardless if you become an empty nesters, we can't stress enough. Don't become idle. Find a hobby, whether it's like we said, gardening.
You gotta do for you.
What have you always wanted to do?
Yeah, you gotta find your thing.
Travel has been our thing, which we can't do.
But I mean, obviously, a lot of people though, we're in a different position.
Yeah, true.
Because a lot of people,
still
do work.
Yeah, they still work.
And I'm not saying what we do isn't work because it is.
But we don't actually go out.
When I say I don't go to an office.
Yeah. So
so a lot of people
we're retired. We're retired though, so not everybody's retired.
If you're at home and you're an empty nester, you got to find something to do, because then you'll become obsessed with your kids, and trust me, they won't like that. Yeah,
trust me. So I mean, so go do it, man. Like, what we've been finding is like when we talk about get a hobby, like learn something that you would never thought in a million years you would do. Stocks is something I would have never. Day trading is something I would have never ever thought that I would even learn or to get to know. And now the stuff that I talked to her about, that I talked to my brother about, I get geeked about it. I get happy, and I'm like, I would have never thought in a million years that I would understand looking at these charts and graphs and understand these things when it comes to stocks.
Right.
But you sit down, YouTube is a hell of a thing. Let me tell you, YouTube is a hell of a thing. We've even decided to learn a new language. We just been going back and forth about which one. Drug. Yeah, we've been going back and forth about which one. I think we settled on French. Was it French or because I said Japanese, she said French, so obviously we're learning French. So, but
I said Japanese.
No, I thought I said Japanese.
No, I said.
Did I say French?
I said Japanese.
Yeah.
You said you already knew French.
That's what it was. I said I already
learned
French.
And I said, well, should we start with French? So, because I was never good at French, you obviously were. Mm-hmm. So, like, do we start with something that you can help me with, and then we delve into the Japanese? Either
way, we are ecstatic because it's something new. Like, you guys, you don't. Here's the thing: every type of learner that there is, YouTube has it covered. Audio, visual. I don't know all the others, but still, like, to sit here and be like, hey, this is the type of learner I am. YouTube got it covered.
Oh, do they?
And here's even better. It's free. It's literally free. All you need is the internet connection. You can go take your butt up to Starbucks. It'd be like, hey, I'm sitting here and learn, or really McDonald's.
Free Wi-Fi.
And like, hey, what are you doing? Just give me a large Sprite, and you can sip that down and get it because they're $1 for whatever size. And sit there and learn the language.
Yeah.
A guy taught himself physics. He is I ain't gonna say physician because that's not. That's a doctor. Physicist. That's what it is. Yeah. But it did sound the same. Physician, physics. Anyway, he is a physicist. It all self-taught through YouTube.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
It's crazy. Well, I mean, we have Coursera. There's no reason why you can't learn a course. Like, just one course.
Yeah.
And whatever you ever wanted to know, trust me.
It's there.
You can go.
How do we know? That's how we learn the stock market.
I think that's the key, though, is when you have that empty nest syndrome, is to keep yourself busy.
Absolutely.
So that you're not thinking about it and crying.
Absolutely. So what we got to say is this, that when it boils down to it, go out there. When it comes to empty nesters, go out there, have your moment, whether it's a day or two or even a week.
Yeah, you got to live in it. Like, you got to acknowledge it. And then when it comes back around again, acknowledge it, make peace with it.
Don't try to ignore it, but definitely don't let it encompass you. You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm trying to say. Engulf you, or engulf you. That's what I meant. Engulf you in the negativity. All that. Don't just sit or don't mope. How's that?
Yeah, but you can't mope about it.
You can't mope the whole time.
You can't.
But anyway,
it's hard for moms.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's empty nesters. I don't really think there's anything else we can really say on empty nesters.
We love and hate it.
Yeah.
But if you asked us if we wanted another kid, we're good.
We will do this.
We got 5.
We will do this. We got
5 between us.
We got 5 kids. We're good. They are grown. We live.
And they survived. Mm-hmm. And this is what life is.
Mm-hmm. And they living their life. So look, guys, that's our show on Empty Nesters. Once again, crypto.com. Look up Misty, and that will bring up your NFTs. Make sure you put in crypto.com NFTs. And it'll bring up a totally different one. And then you type in Misty, and it'll show the NFTs. So DMWATSpodcast.com is where you guys can find the videos. All the streaming services also. YouTube, the guys that's going to show your videos. Doge, AMC, Shiba, and Saitama. We about them all. Nisa says bye and signing off for DMWATS Podcast. I'm Davey.
I'm Misty.
And there's Dom. Just laid out. He's chilling.
He's not pooping tonight.
Yeah. Hope that's not what I said. But anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.